Good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? This is a new week that the Lord has made. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We got a short menu tonight, and the topic that's on the menu is going to be short. So come on in, come on in. We're going to be at the dinner table tonight, and the dinner table is set. You brothers and sisters, you will enjoy this food tonight. I guarantee you're going to enjoy this soul food tonight. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak on relationships. When I say relationship, I strongly believe that a relationship is composed of a man, a woman, and God. That's what I believe when it comes to a relationship. Again, that's a man, a woman, and God, whereas that man and woman has God as a part of the relationship. So if this is your first time here, that's where I'm coming from. Now, if you think another way about a relationship, you have what is called a free will. You could do whatever you choose to do. But if you sit at the dinner table, I normally come from the perspective of a man and a woman when I'm talking, and I go all the way back to Genesis when I'm talking. Uh, so come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. This is going to be a good topic tonight that's on the menu. Go ahead and invite some more family members and friends. You don't want to miss this particular conversation that we're going to have at the dinner table. I encourage you, go ahead and invite some more family members and friends. Go ahead and share this content and comment and like. If this is your first time, I want you to understand you are a guest. Normally we sit here at the dinner table and it's family. With that said, we are about to get into tonight's content. And I know a lot of you brothers and sisters, you may be interested in this particular topic. How you doing, Sister Deborah D. Scott? Welcome to the dinner table tonight. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sister. I'm giving a few more people an opportunity to come in and sit down at the dinner table. You're going to enjoy this meal tonight. I'm going to fill you up. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this particular topic. And I'm going to ask you this, my brother and sister. If you have a comment that you would like to make on this particular topic that we're going to talk about tonight, I want you to go ahead and put it out there so I can address it. And another thing, I'm talking on two different platforms. I'm talking on the book and I'm talking on the tube. For those of you that are on the book, I may make a comment to those that are on the tube and you may not see them. And those of you that are on the tube, I may make a comment to those that are on the book and you may not see it, but we're all family here. So let's be on our best behavior, my brothers and sisters, because we got a good topic tonight. Now, what we're going to talk about at tonight's dinner table, we're going to talk about the topic, do you know what it means when he says you're fine and sexy? Again, tonight's topic is, do you know what it means when he says you are fine and sexy? Who is the he? I'm talking about a man in general. Sister, how do you feel when a man approach you and say something like, you fine? Or if a man tell you that you're sexy? Now, is it really, the question is, my sister, is it really a compliment when a man tells a woman that she's fine and or sexy? Now, some women do think that it is truly a great compliment, but at the dinner table tonight, we are going to discuss this thing, whether it's appropriate for a man to tell a woman you're fine and or sexy. What do you brothers and sisters think about that? Do you think that a man should address a woman by telling her she's fine or sexy? What do you think? How you doing, Sister Teresa Thomas? So those of you that are at the dinner table right now, what do you think? Do you think it's appropriate for a man to tell a woman that she's fine or sexy? What do you think? Teresa said, my response, God made me this way. Okay, sister, I see that God made you that way. Okay. That's okay. God made you that way. But we're about to get into it. Now, this is not no beat down on no men in general, okay? So, brothers, I'm not talking to my brothers, okay? My brothers that are sitting here at the dinner table, I'm not talking to you. But this is helpful for the sisters that are sitting at the dinner table, okay? So this is not no attack on my brothers sitting at the dinner table. But it's helpful information for our sisters that are sitting at the dinner table. Now, what type of man am I talking about? Mostly worldly men will address a woman as fine and or sex. But let's go to God's word first. Let's see what Jesus have to say about this little thing, okay? Let's see what Jesus have to say, because Jesus did make a somewhat a comment on where I'm going. Sister Diane 6 say, no, it means that they're looking at you for a sex material. That's a good answer, Sister Diane, but we're about to talk about this. Thank you, Sister Diane, and thank you, Sister Teresa, for making your comment. And brothers and sisters, if you want to make your comment, you can go ahead and you can talk to one another about this. As long as it's about the topic at the dinner table, you can do it. But according to God's word, Jesus talked about this thing, okay? And it's in line of what's on the menu. Jesus said in Matthew 5:28, Matthew 5:28, Matthew 5:28. Jesus is doing the talking. Jesus say, but I say to you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully intent have already committed adultery with her in his heart. Listen to what Jesus is saying again. Jesus is talking about a man. Thank you, Sister Teresa. Jesus talked about man. Jesus said, but I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Now, what does lust mean? Let's define what lust means. We could say lust or fine or sex, okay? So when we talk about lust, the word sexy or fine could be lumped up in this lust depending on what type of relationship this man and this woman have, okay? So let me be clear. It depends on what type of relationship this man and woman have. But the definition of lust is it's defined as a strong sexual desire. That's what lust is defined as. It's defined as a strong sexual desire, having a very strong sexual desire for someone, intense sexual attraction or desire. The sexual desire is often defined as being for someone other than a partner. So this is what we're talking about. Now back to the question, do you know what it means when he say you're fine and sexy? Now that question, that's a two-part answer. It could be yes or it could be no. Okay, and I'm going to expound to you, not explain to you while I say it could be yes and no. Now it depends on what type of relationship that man and woman is in. For yes, let's talk about yes. Now, when a man is in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a woman, when I say a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with that woman, that man needs to be married to that woman. Okay, he needs to be married to that woman. So it's nothing wrong in itself if a man is in a covenant relationship with a woman and he tells her something like, you're fine or you sexy. Because there's nothing wrong with sex in itself. God created sex, my brother and sister, and when he created sex, it's a beautiful thing between a man and a woman when done the right way. Okay, that's what it is when it's done the right way. So don't ever think that there's anything wrong with physical attraction when it comes to a man and a woman, but it depends on what type of relationship that man and woman is in. So, brothers, if you are in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a woman, those are the key elements: serious, committed, and covenant relationship. It's nothing wrong with you expressing that you have a strong, intense physical desire to be with that woman, because there's nothing wrong with it. Before God, it's nothing wrong with it. By all means, brothers, when you talk about that woman in your life, the first thing you need to talk to that woman about, brother, how you doing, brother Mosley? The first thing you should talk to that woman about is the inside of her. So, brother, when you talk to a woman, before you talk to her about anything on the physical level, you need to try to get on the deep inside of that woman. You need to be attracted to her mind. You need to be attracted to her heart, because you want the best for that woman. You want that woman to have a smile on your face, not on your face, but on her face. So when you talk to a woman, you want her to always be lifted up. So you're lifting the woman up on the inside. Because remember, just like you, brother, the woman is she's created. She have a spirit, she has a soul, and she has a body. Okay, she has a spirit, a soul, and body. So, brother, when you are in love with a woman, you have to grow in love with that woman. And while you're growing in love with that woman, you have to master what it is to lift that woman up. Okay, and brother, you have to understand the words that come out of your mouth, they have power. So when you're lifting a woman up, you should be telling her things about how beneficial she is in your life. Before you get to the physical part, you need to let her know how she is, what type of contribution she make to the relationship. You need to thank her for accepting the request to be in a relationship. You just need to continuously and consistently feed that woman all day, every day. Women like to be talked to. I'm telling you, brother, women, especially your woman, she wants you to communicate with her. Your woman, brother, she would rather for nice things about herself to come from you, from the inside, as well as the outside. Because most men, if they come at your woman, they're going to be basically coming at your woman from what they see from the outside. You got to understand that, brothers. Okay, so brother, if you have a fairly attractive woman in your life, you better believe there are going to be some men that's going to make an advancement towards her. So you might as well, it ain't no need of you trying to keep up with her or anything. That's her decision when she get out there in the public, okay? So you got to understand that, brother. So there are going to be some men that's going to be physically attracted to your woman. Let that sink in. But before I get to that, that's why I'm telling you, brother, you have to feed her. You have to continue to feed that woman with what's going on the inside, okay? Sister Teresa, so true. Don't a day go by. That's right, Sister Teresa. So, brother, when you tell her about how she is on the inside and how she contributes to your life, that's when you start talking about her physical features, okay? So those of you that are in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a woman, you should tell her things about how fine she is and how sexy she is. There's nothing wrong with it if you in the right type of a relationship. So if it's your woman, brother, you need to tell her how fine she is. You need to tell her how sexy she is, because she wants to feel like she's wanted. Your woman wants to feel like she's wanted mentally. She wants to feel like she's wanted emotionally, and she wants to feel like she's wanted physically. Before you get to the physical part of the relationship, brother, you see, you don't wait until that night to try to get physical with your woman. This should be going on way up in the daytime or days before that. Don't, and this one thing, brother, a lot of brothers, listen to me, brother. I'm trying to help you. Don't wait till nighttime to tell your woman she fine and sexy, because when you tell your woman at nighttime that she fine and sexy, she already know that you just want to get to the physical part of the relationship, but she wants to feel wanted. You see, let me tell you something, brother. When you work on your woman's mind or her emotion, she's going to be excited when it comes to the physical part of the relationship. You understand? She will be excited. So you want your woman that you're in a covenant relationship to be excited, right, brother? So when you approach your woman, brother, in the right way, do you want your woman to be like the Sahara Desert, or do you want her to be like Niagara Falls? You understand? If you want your woman to be like, and this, I'm talking to adults now, brother, if you want your woman to be like Niagara Falls, you need to be talking to her days before or even the early part of the day. Don't wait to that nighttime to stimulate her. Because if you wait to that nighttime to stimulate her, it's going to be, she's going to start thinking, you don't say nothing nice to me until the nighttime unless you want me. You don't want your woman thinking that the only thing you want from her is her body. You don't ever want your woman to think that all she is reduced to the body. So the first part I'm saying is this. Do you know what it means when he say you're fine and sexy? This is only for you brothers that are in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a woman. I'm going to tell you something, my brother and sister, in my past. There's not one woman that I dated in the past that can tell you that I said that she was fine or sexy if I wasn't in no serious, committed, and covenant relationship with her. How you doing, Sister Flo? Those of you that are coming to the dinner table, on the menu tonight, do you know what it means when he say you're fine and sexy? So what I'm saying right now, from my past life, my brother and sister, I have dated several women, but there's not one of them that could tell you that I told her that she was fine. You will not, one of them could say that I said she was sexy, because I understood what that word fine and sexy mean. You understand? I'm not perfect, but I know what it meant. And a lot of men know what it means when they tell a woman she fine and sexy. So, like I said, if you're in the right type of relationship, serious, committed, and covenant relationship, it's fine and dandy if you tell that woman that she's fine. Now, on the flip side, do you know what it means when he said you're fine and sexy? That's a no. See, the first part is yes, but the latter part is no. No man should go around telling a woman that she is fine and or sexy if he's not, in the flip of the coin, if he's not in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship. That's the key thing, a covenant relationship, because I read the definition to you. I said that because when a man on the outside and he's not, if he haven't said I do to you, why should he tell you fine and sexy? It's because of lust. Lust, again, is defined as a very strong sexual desire, having a very strong sexual desire for someone, intense sexual attraction or desire. The sexual desire is often defined as being for someone other than a partner. So let me tell you this, sisters. If that man have not crossed that finish line with you, any man that, I know some people are going to disagree with what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you, sister, Any man that come to you and say that you're fine and sexy, I just gave you the definition of it. It's a sign of disrespect. If a man comes to you saying stuff like that, it's a sign of disrespect. There's the video that I seen a while back. Sister, it's one of the sisters that be at the dinner table. She sent me a video. She sent me a video, and this lady, she was doing a podcast, right? She is, and she was, and she is a very attractive woman. This woman is married. Keep in mind, this woman is married. So she was doing a live broadcast, and when she was doing a live broadcast, there was a guy that came on, and he said, "How you doing, sexy?" That lady immediately stopped the show. As a matter of fact, Sister Cheryl Smith sent me this video. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. I know you'll soon be on possibly, but Sister Cheryl sent me the video. That lady put the brakes on the show, and she told that man this: "Why are you calling me sexy? Don't you know that I am married? You are disrespecting me, and more so, you are disrespecting my husband." Because that lady knew what sexy meant. And she told that man, "Can you say something? Some of you men say something else more than a woman is sexy?" It is something called, brother, if you're going around telling a woman that she's sexy or she's fine, you're out of line. That's showing that you disrespect the woman. Especially you brothers, you shouldn't be telling a woman that she's fine and sexy unless she's your woman. That's the key thing. Brothers don't go around telling women they fine and sexy unless that woman is your woman. And it's directed to her. When men say that, let me tell you something, sister. I'm a man. Let me tell you what men really mean when they say you fine and sexy and they're not in a relationship with you. And some women, and I hate to say some of you sisters, you eat it up. You really think, remember the question that I said, is it really a compliment when a man tells a woman that she's fine and or sexy? Some women think that it's truly a great compliment. It's not a compliment. That man is disrespecting you. Words have power, but some women, when they told they fine and sexy about someone that's not in a relationship with them, you think it's really a genuine compliment, right? You really think that it's all about how you look. That's what you think, right? You think it's about your body. But when a man tell you he's fine and sexy, what he actually telling you, and I'm telling you the truth, that man have processed in his mind. That man is a director. That man have directed in his mind. He have directed, produced, and written the script how he would do you with your clothes off. All that stuff went through that man's mind. So when a man tell you fine and sexy and he's not your man, it's not a compliment. Because it still come down to lust. You see, sister, when a man tell you that he look at you and he process that goes back to what I said earlier, what Jesus said. Jesus said in Matthew 5:28, Matthew 5:28, Matthew 5:28, he said, "But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent have already committed adultery with her in his heart." So before a man get physical with you, he have already played the script and the movie inside his head what he would like to do for you. That man have imagined all what type of position he's going to put you in, how many times he's going to flip you over, what you're going to be saying and all that. He done process all of that. So men that tell you that the only thing they want to do is just be physical with you, and when they want to be physical with you, they're most of the time their minds and their emotion are not going to be attached to you. So, sister, a lot of time when you get bamboozled and fooled because you really think that it's all that, and any woman that accept those kind of things, you somewhat, and I'm not being disrespectful, but you somewhat shadow. And that's why a lot of women, they dress in a very provocative way. When they dress in a very provocative way, why are a lot of women dressing in a very provocative way? It's called first impression. If a woman going for an interview for a corporate, if a woman going to a interview, she not a lot of time they know how to dress to go get a job. They know how to dress to go get a job. They know how, majority of the women know how to dress if they go into a worship service. But other than a worship service or a corporate job or something like that, it's all about the most important thing, sister, you have is your character. That's the most important thing you have, what's on the inside of you, your reputation. Because how you dress, sister, listen to me carefully. How you dress, that has a lot to do with how a man going to approach you, and when he approach you, how he talks to you. You got to understand that. If a man looking at you, sister, and you showing a lot of your top part and it's open, what is that man thinking about? That man thinking about touching them with his hand, and he thinking about placing them in his mouth. I'm just being real. That's what he's thinking about. But it's not about you. It's about what he sees. And then when you dress real provocative and you showing a lot of skin and all that kind of stuff, what is that man thinking about? He get more lustful towards you. Sister, you don't want no man just to want you because of your body. You more than a body. You have a spirit and a soul inside your body. You should want that man to, if that man going to get in a relationship with you, you should want that man to get in be more a soulmate to you than a body mate to you, which is a soul tie. It's a big difference between being in a soul tie relationship and being a soulmate. So, sister, when you go out there advertising, that's what that contribute to a man, what a man how he talk and approach you. Believe me, because men look at, because you see, men are visual. You got to understand that. Men are visual. You can't deny it. Men are visual. And if it's a man that got some business about himself, if that man got a reputation and that man is careful how he move, if that man got a good name, he's going to want a woman that going to represent him. A man that got good character, a man that got reputation, he's going to be very careful, especially if he's following God. He's going to be very careful what type of woman he chooses to be in a relationship with. No man that follow after God wants a woman that shows her body and stuff to other men, because that's supposed to be for that man's eyes only. Now it's not. Now men gonna look at women anyway. They're gonna look at women anyway. But sister, you supposed to dress in a way that's respectful, because not only if you decide to get married to a man, you first of all, what about your relationship with God? You see, if you go around talk about you got a relationship with God and you dress in a provocative way, it doesn't match up. If you put it on a scale, you say you believe in God, but you dress in a provocative way, the scale is not balanced. I heard this, and I have said this before on one of my broadcasts a while back. I have said this. You are familiar with the how you doing, Kappa, on that? Then call us insecure when we tell them about showing their bodies. That's right. That's right. It's not about we're insecure. Thank you, brother, for saying that. We're not insecure. We're just trying to help you, sister, to realize that you're more than a body. But you are familiar with Dave Chappelle, right? The comedian. And I have said this a while back. Dave Chappelle was doing a live stand-up, and this is what Dave Chappelle said. He said that he's glad that he's married. I'm paraphrasing this. He said, I'm glad that I'm married. And Dave Chappelle said him and his boys, they was at this club, right? And he said that a woman walked in, and he said he told that woman, hey, 304. And you all know what a 304 is, right? If you get the calculator and put 304 and flip it upside down, it's going to spell a word, okay? Or it's a garden tool, okay? Or to tell you the truth, you know, the Bible make a comment, well, how the Bible come with, the Bible uses a word called whorish, okay? The word whorish is actually in God's word, okay? Or Dave Chappelle made a statement like that, okay? He called the lady that he shouldn't have done it, but he did it. And he said that the lady said, why are you calling me a 304? 304, I'm trying to be safe because I don't want to get my channel knocked down. And she said that, then he said, because you dress like a 304. And she said, just because I dress this way doesn't mean I'm a 304. And then Dave Chappelle said, I'm a comedian, if you see me with a police suit on, you will assume that I'm a police officer. You see Dave Chappelle point of view. He telling lady, if I came in here with a police suit on, you will assume that I'm a police. So impression does matter, my brothers and sisters. How you doing, Sister Angie B? So Angie B said, good evening, Brother Toomer. Caught the live chat. Just letting you know your title should be fine, not fine. Okay, all right. So thank you, Sister Angie B. But listen to me, sisters. Listen carefully, especially my sisters. You don't have to dress provocative. Brother Mosley and Cat Williams made a joke like that too. So Brother Mosley and Catherine on that, they know what I'm talking about. Tell me this, you brothers. Tell me this. Do you think, would you want a woman dressing provocative and she with you? Would you, Brother Mosley and Brother Catherine, that? And I'll tell you this story too. And I have said it before. When I was dating, there was this young lady that I asked to go out, right? And she had on her work uniform. She had on her work uniform, and I asked her to go out. She said, we can go out. And she said, I want you to know that I don't dress like this. I said, what do you mean? She said, I just want you to know I don't dress like this. These are my work clothes, because she worked at the hospital, so she had some scrubs on, right? Or a doctor office, or something like that. It was so long ago. So anyway, she said, I don't dress like this. I dress another way. So when I met her, she seemed to be a very respectable woman, right? She talked like that. But we decided we were going to meet at this restaurant, right? So I got to the restaurant first. And when I got to the restaurant first, she pulled up and she called me on the cell phone. She said, I'm here, where you at? So I walked out to the car, and her windows were tinted. Her windows were very tinted. That's right, Sister Teresa, the word call it can. The windows were tinted. So I'm calling myself being a gentleman. I opened the door. She turned off the car, and I opened the door. And when I opened the door, when I opened the door, believe me, all of this top part, it was about to fall out. It was about to fall out of that top. And she was somewhat very endowed up here. And it wasn't like it was sagging, brothers and sisters. It was not like it was sagging. It was up. You know what I mean? But they looked like they were about to fall out. And she was showing Okay, the top part, it was the top part holding this up here, and then the bottom part showing all the stomach and stuff, right? So I'm in a strand between the two. I'm in a between a rock and a hard place, right? So I say, and it was a Friday night, and this restaurant where we went at, it was a whole bunch of people there. She got out the car, and I was trying to decide, should I cancel this date or not? That's just how I was feeling about the situation. So I said, okay. So I said, let's go in. So as we went in, I gave my name. And when I gave my name, other people looking, and they started looking at her. I knew the men was gonna look, but the women were looking too. The women were looking. And when it was time, when my name was called for us to go to the table, when we was walking from that waiting area to our table, when we walked by table, my brother and sister, people stopped talking. Men and women, they stopped talking and they were just looking. She was a showstopper with all that she was showing. So I went into the restaurant with her, and I really still wanted to go. But my point is, I even felt uncomfortable with that woman. The reason why I felt uncomfortable with that woman, because she was going to be associated with me. You understand? But I was stuck in that situation. So why am I saying this? She could have came out another way. If I would have known that she kind of dressed that particular way, I would not have done it. Because that's a choice. And I'm telling you, sisters, now some men, they like stuff like that. Some men like stuff like that. Some men don't mind if their woman dressed that way. Because brother, I'm talking to you, brother, whenever you get a woman, that woman represents you as well as you represent that woman. Especially if you say you got a relationship with God. If you got a relationship with God, your whole presentation matters to God. So back to this, sister. If the man is not in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with you, and he called and he said that you're sexy and fine, he's actually out of line with you. What he's actually telling you, to be truthful, is I want to take you somewhere, and like Marvin Gaye say, let's get it on. That's what he's basically telling you. Now, some men, they will be direct about it. And there'll be other men, they will be indirect, but they still got the same end goal in mind. That's right, Sister Teresa said, just nakedness and lasciviousness. That's correct. And let me tell you this, brothers and sisters, let me just tell you this. And I'm not being prejudiced and I'm not being judgmental. I'm just here to help. That's right, Sister Diana, very word. When you see a lot of women in public and social media, when they feel compelled to show their bodies, why are they showing their bodies? Why? What's the question? Why you have to show your body? You see some women, they be just like this. You see, and a lot of you see this when you look at social media. You see a woman, she holding the camera like this, right? You can see it in public too. They'll be holding they'll be holding it up. And sometimes they have a mirror behind them, right? You all know what I'm talking about. They'll have the camera up. They'll have a mirror behind because they want you to see their derriere. Now, the question is, why is it that some women, they market their behinds? And this is not no attack on women. We just having conversation. Why is it some women feel compelled to show their behinds? Why is it some women feel compelled to be twerking and using their butts? Let me tell you what goes on in a man's mind when you fishing with your derriere. It still lead to sex, sister. It still lead to physical engagement with that man. That's all he thinking about you. He just thinking about your body. Because when you market your behind, Sister Dynasty just want to get when you are marketing your behind, of course you're going to get some sharks. If you drop some blood in the water and some sharks there, guess what the sharks gonna do? They gonna come where the blood is at. Sister, if your derriere is like a piece of steak, let's say your derriere is just like a piece of steak. Let's use that as an example. And you have a whole bunch of Rockwilders in a pen. If you have a whole bunch of Rockwilders in a pen and you throw a piece of steak out there on the ground, what are those Rockwilders going to do? You think the old Rockwilder just going to just look at the steak and not going to do nothing? No, they are all going to run to that steak. And they're going to fight over that steak because they want their steak, because they are something came over those bulldogs. And that's what happened to sister. A lot of time, let me tell you this, sister, if you are using your derriere to get attention, especially on social media, you will see an influx of men calling you things like a queen. You're going to see an influx of men saying that you're they'll even tell you fine and you sexy. They're going to give you all these colorful compliments. And the next thing they're going to do, they're going to be jumping in your inbox, want to get to know you. There was this some years ago. There was this lady that I know. She had a business, right? She was, I don't know how she is now, but she when you look at her, she was a very attractive woman. How she used to dress and how she used to talk and everything. She had a mixture of women and men that was interested in her business, right? And she was doing pretty well. But for some reason, she changed her appearance. What do I mean? She started dressing provocative. So when some of the ladies asked her, it was like, some ladies said, why you start dressing like that? They were asking her this on social media. And then she got defensive and started saying, I could dress the way I want to. But you better believe the men came up and they were like that. So they were all supportive of the woman change, right? The men were telling the woman, oh, they just hating because their bodies and stuff ain't like that. You see, the men, they were coercing this woman, but the other women on there, they were not jealous or nothing like that. They just want to know why you change your presentation. You got a business. So her and I talked, and I said, sister, you got a good business going on. And my question to you is, sister, why did you change your attire? Why did you start dressing that way? I said, that you already an attractive woman. Why you start dressing that way? And she got defensive with me. And I said, look, sister, I'm just trying to help you. I said, did you not notice this? When you start dressing like that, do you not realize that if you're trying to get numbers on social media, you notice that your numbers, your likes and stuff went up? Did you notice how it started hitting the roof? I said, did you notice that more men was engaged with you than they were when you were dressing in a respectful way? I said, did you notice that? And she said, well, I could dress the way I want. I said, okay. And I bagged off. I was just trying to help her. That's all I was trying to do, because I was trying to tell her how men look at it. That's all I was trying to do, tell her how men look at it. Sister Angie B said, I don't like it now when a man approach me saying that I'm fine and sex. I think it is disrespectful. It tells me he only wants sex. After my mindset have changed, it bothers me now. Sister, and then Casper on that said, tell these good, sweet things nothing. That's right. And Sister Angie B, let me tell you this. You are right, sister. When those men came to you telling you you fine and sexy, and they were not in a serious, committed, or covenant relationship with you, meaning married, they were way out of line. Those type of compliments should only come from a man that have said I do to the woman, because the man that said I do to the woman, he have already invested in the woman. He have invested in that woman mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, with the spirit part being first. So when a married man, listen to this, those words should only come from a man that have married that woman, because it's nothing wrong according to God, not according to Tony, but according to God. God only wants sex to take place in a marriage anyway. God does not want sex to take place outside the marriage. So if God does not mind, brother, listen to me, brother, if you in the right type of relationship with the woman and she's your wife, God does not mind if you tell your woman she's fine. God does not care if you tell your woman she's sexy. It depends on the relationship. That's what you have to understand. Sister Angie B said, it's a turnoff now. I hear it from worldly men all the time. It's going to happen. And I'm trying to help you, sister. It's not, you should not allow a man to do it. Back to what I said about this woman that was on social media. It's the other lady. Like I said, she was a very attractive woman and she was married. When that man came onto her platform and he said, how you doing, sexy? She stopped the show and she said, listen, I'm a married woman and I got a husband. You disrespecting me and you disrespecting my husband. She said, is it any other kind of word you guys could say besides sexy? And she told the man what sexy means. This was an educated woman. She did not have to dress provocative or anything. But that man was out of line. And there's some men that be out of line with women that dress respectful. I'm going to tell you that too, sister. It's going to be some, you could dress very respectful, but there's going to be some wolves out there. They're going to try to shoot their shot. But anytime a man come to you, it's out of order. It's very disrespectful. And sister, you got responsibility. Now, not you, sister. I hope I'm not talking no sister, but those worldly women, they got a responsibility. Because I know before most women go out in public, they're going to look in the mirror. They're gonna look in the mirror, they're gonna look at the front, they're gonna turn to the left side. They're going to turn to the right side, and they may turn their back to the mirror and look over their shoulder and see how they're looking. Most women have checked out the mirror before they go outside. So, sister, if you go outside and you got a lot of cleavage showing and you talking and you conversing with a man, why would you ask that man what you looking at if he's looking at your cleavage? Why are you going to ask him what you looking at? He's looking because you're showing it. That's why he's looking. If you have a lot of it covered up, he might still look, but not so intensely. I'm telling you, when you be doing all that twerking, when you're doing all that twerking stuff, and your backside gyrating and stuff, what you think that man thinking? When you turn twerking and stuff, what do you think going on in that man's mind? You want to say that he shouldn't be thinking that way. But you contributing to how that man think too. Yeah, he responsible for how he think, but if you gyrating when you twerking and stuff, what you think come to most men's mind? When you twerking, physical stuff come to that man's mind. That man thinking about what he could do with all that gyrating that you're doing. And then let me tell you this too, sister. I'm trying to help you. If you sit down with your legs open, what you think most men gonna do? If you sit down with your legs open, whether you have a dress on or not, what do you think the average man going to do? What you think the average man gonna do? When you open your leg, the average man going to look and see how much he could see. That's why some women, not all women, but some women purposely, listen to what I'm saying, brothers and sisters at the table. Some women purposely buy this thing that's called a camel toe. You are familiar with a camel toe? What is a camel toe? It's a little thing that some women buy and they put it down in their trousers to make it appear that they got a lot of stuff going on in their trousers. So when they're walking, or if they standing, the front part of their trousers, it go up into this device. And so it looks like a real, you know what I'm talking about. It looks real, but it's not real. Sister Angela B said women do that on the front row of church and sit with legs up so preacher can see. That's a good point. What, thank you, Sister Angela B. Thank you for saying that. There are some women, just like Angela B said, there are some women truly that sit up on the front pew doing worship service while the preacher is there preaching. Why do some women do this? Of course, the preacher probably gonna look. That preacher probably came up there to want to share the word of God, and then let me tell you, some women that do stuff like that, the devil have a lot to do with it. The devil whispered into these women's ears and told these women to do it because a lot of times it's bigger than what we think. A lot of times Satan will use some women to provoke a preacher by sitting up at the front with their legs open. They're using that woman as an instrument to get to the preacher. Sister Diane said women should sit on the second row. Do you all remember a long time ago, this for old school, if a woman went to worship service with a real short dress on, what did the older women used to do? They would have a long handkerchief or something, and they would lay that they would lay that handkerchief over those women's legs. That's what they used to do. So, sister, if you don't want no man to use you, because some men gonna try to use you anyway, but the more you dress provocative, men gonna come after you. Yeah, that's right, Sister Angie, a lapse call. Men gonna come after you, and they just gonna want to put you on your back. So when they put you on your back, and then they don't answer your phone call, your text until they want you again. Because let me tell you something, sister, majority of the time after you get to the physical part, a man could pursue you strongly. A man could be pursuing you so strong, but once you lay on your back, that's when a whole bunch of women, you notice a change, right? He's not that attentive no more. You remember that man used to call you in the morning saying, good morning, beautiful, and all that kind of stuff. He used to do all that nice stuff, used to take you out and everything. But when he got to where his end goal, you notice a quick change. because he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. And then you want to think that he's using you. He lusts after you and you contribute to the lust. That's right, Sister Angie. They got what they wanted, then they ghost. And that's what they'll do, Sister. I'm concerned about the worldly women too, because they soul need to be saved too. Worldly women soul, but I'm talking primarily to you, sister. If you're not in a relationship, sisters, listen to this. If you're not in a relationship, you don't have to dress provocative to get attention. And let me tell you this, another thing. And when a lot of you look at social media, right? When you look at social media, you notice a lot of ladies, they like for you to see them in real cladded clothes. You ever notice that they want you to look at them in real cladded clothes, right? And they don't say nothing. They don't really be exercising that much. I could see if they was exercising, trying to help people. Say, look, they have an exercising class on social media. I can understand they got an exercising class on social media, stuff like that. I can understand, but just getting on camera and you dressed in a swimming suit. I have seen some women dressed in a swimming suit and they ain't even around no water. I know some of you have seen that. Have you seen a woman in a swimming suit and they're not around no water? They're probably in a room. Or they're going to make sure you see their swimming suit. They're going to pull the camera out way like this and get a whole body shot and put it out there. When a woman get to the point where she has to keep showing her body, and a lot of you know some of these people that they like to show their bodies a lot. They like to show their body a lot. Why? It has a lot to do, and these could be very attractive women. They could be very attractive. But why do some of these women feel compelled to show their bodies? What that tell men is that's all you got to offer. That's all you got to offer, your body. Men that got purpose in their life, especially they believe in God and they got a purpose, they want a woman that can that can contribute to the relationship more than their bodies. They want a woman that is spiritual. They want a woman that can think. They want a woman that can carry on a conversation about different things. They don't want no woman that's shadow. That's a man that believes in God and got a life purpose and he's serious. I'm going to tell you this too. A lot of time when men do not take women to around their family and friends, you want me to tell you why a lot of men don't take some women around their family and friends? It could be how you talk. If you got a potty mouth, it could be, when I said potty mouth, you use very strong adjective and you don't know how to express yourself without using those terminology, or how you dress. He know what his family gonna say about you. He knows that. Yeah, Teresa swimsuit. Yeah, that's right. So he knows what his family gonna say. He know what his friends gonna say. By the way, let me tell you this, sisters. Listen up. I gotta tell you something what you might not even know. This is the single part. Let's say, for example, it's this single man, and he happened to take you around his friend. Let's say this is the first time he have taken you around his friends. He's single, you single. His guy friend could be married or they might not be married. Let me tell you what happened, what you might not know about. This man introduced you to his friends, his guy friends, right? They're not going to say too much in front of your face, but let me tell you what men do. If you get up to go to the restroom or something like that, let me tell you what guys do. Most guys do. You get up and go to the bathroom. They're going to make sure that their ears can't see you. You see, you thought I was going to say the ears can't hear you. Their ears can't see you. So they'll look while you walking. These guys, they'll be looking at you, right? Until you turn the corner. Then they'll talk to their guy friend. They say, hey, man. Then they're going to tell the man how you look. This is what his guy friend going to do. They're going to tell this man how you look. And they going to also tell this man how you shape. That's how conversation mostly go. They're going to say how you look and how you are shaped before they get to how you talk. And you know, after they tell the man how you look and how you shape, you know, the next thing they're going to ask the man, have you been physical with her yet? That's what they're going to, this is a quick conversation system, letting you know, this what men talk about a lot. I'm talking about grown men. I ain't talking about no little boy. I'm talking about grown men. They're going to ask the man, have you been physical with her yet? They want that answer real quick. And if the man said, yes, we have been physical, you know the next question that they're going to ask, how was it? That's what they're going to say. Okay, how was it? What did she do? Does she do that? And does she do this? That's the conversation, sister, that be talked about when they ears hear you coming back, they would change the subject to the football game or what happened on Wall Street and all that. But they have said that. And don't be showing a whole bunch of your body. Because you show a whole bunch of your body. Let me tell you what happened. How you doing, Sister Brother? If you show a whole bunch of your body, let me tell you what's going to happen. Brothers, I hope this ain't you what I'm talking about. If you take a woman around your friends and she's showing a lot of her body, and you convey to your friend it ain't nothing but a G thing, baby, guess what your guy friend is going to do, brothers? Your guy friend, they may be in her neighborhood and they may just stop by her house without you knowing. Because if they don't figure that you got no relationship, some of your homeboys, brother, they would do that to you. They would just be in the neighborhood, in her neighborhood, to see what they can do with that. And let me tell you this. I have said it before. Some of you have heard it before. This happened in my life. That was this guy friend, and some of you may have heard it before. That was this guy friend that we were playing Madden football. You all probably have heard of Madden football, right? You know, a long time ago, we used to have to go to a person's house to play Madden football. It's a video game, right? But my friend, they had jobs like I had a job. We were working men. That's what we did for entertainment because we too old now. We can't actually get on the field and play football no more. So that was that's what we're doing. But this one particular guy went over to his house, right? And when you go into his restroom, she used to have her little undergarments on the top of the curtain rod. So we already knew she wore Victoria's Secret stuff, right? Because right up there, right? So anyway, I left my controller over to his house one time. I left my controller and he called me. He said, T, you left your game control over to my house. He said, I'm about to go home and I'll meet you so I can give it to you. I said, yeah, I was looking for it, man. So then B said, I've experienced everything you just described with God and their friend. Sister Angie B know what I'm talking about. And let me tell you, the guy said, Tony, just meet me at home. I'm going to give you your game control because that's where you left. I said, okay, cool. So I got in my car. I went to the other side of town. And when I got to the other side of town, his car was not there. So I called him. I said, man, where you at? What's up? And he said, oh, I'm sorry, T. He said, I'm still at work. I'm working a little late. He said, my girl, she going to let you in to get your game control. I said, okay, cool. So I went up to the door. I rang the doorbell. And when I rang the doorbell, let me tell you, she knew I was coming. So when I went there, brother and sister, let me tell you, she had on a little t-shirt and it was cut up here. She don't dress like that when he's there. And she never dressed like that in front of us guys, right? So she had this t-shirt on and it was cut up here. She didn't have no brassiere on, and she was kind of healthy up there, and they was pouring right at me, right? Through the t-shirt, they was pouring at me. Yeah, Sister Angie B said was sit up. So they were pouring right at me. So I'm surprised. And not only that, she had on Daisy Duke didn't have nothing on this woman. Daisy Duke did not have nothing on it. She had on something that Daisy Duke don't know about. So I'm looking, I'm somewhat in shock because she dressed like that, right? She's showing me all this stuff, right? So she said, you could come in. And I was thinking, I started thinking, my brother and sister, I started thinking. You know, when you look at the cartoon, my brother and sister, you know, like you might have a little angel here and a little devil here. That represent the conscience, right? So I said, the little angel here, and the angel said, don't go in there. Then the devil over here said, yeah, you go in there, you go in there. So my conscience was, you know, on high alert, right? So I said, no, I'm cool. I said, well, you go get my control and bring it back. Let me tell you how she did it. She turned around in slow motion. And when she turned around in slow motion, she started walking. And she was walking in slow motion. And she was walking in slow motion. You know, it was like, you know, it was just like that, brother and sister. It was like that. So I'm standing there watching, and she got, and I could see her. So she reached her hand down with the control, and she purposely bent over, right? And so when she bent over, I got more than an eye for her, right? So the proverbial little angel here and the proverbial devil right here. So the devil started really talking strong then, you know what I mean? But the little angel said, don't do it, don't do it. But the little devil said, yeah, you go, 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 go. So she turned around and she brought back, and she was looking right in my eyes, and I was looking right in her eyes, right? So she put the control in my hand, and I got it. And you know what she asked me, brothers and sisters? She say, is it anything else you want? And when she asked me, was there anything else I want? I was in the strand between the two. I was thinking two thoughts. I was thinking about God for one thing, and I was thinking about my friend, the other thing. I could have, if I wanted to, I could have actually went in there and you know, a quick hurry up. I could have done it because I knew that he was at work and it was going to take him a while back. But you see, that was my friend. I couldn't do him like that. And not only that, I was accountable to God. Was it hard? Yes, my brothers, and yes, my sister, it was hard. Because she was a very attractive woman. She was attractive. She was physically attractive from head to toe. She was very attractive. So when she said, is there anything else you want? I said, no, I'm cool. But my car was maybe 15 yards from the door. So she shut the door. And like I said, my car was like 15 yards from the door. So while I'm walking, I'm still thinking, should I turn around or should I go to my car? That's how temptation is, my brother and sister. That's what I'm talking about. That's right, Sister Angie B. It was temptation. And Sister Diane said, everything that looked good is not good for you. Right, it didn't look good. I mean, it looked good, but it wasn't going to be good. I was kind of like, can you imagine like when Eve got that forbidden fruit, it looked good. It was pleasing to the eye. So I was in the proverbial Garden of Eden. So you know what? It seemed like it took me an hour to walk to my car. So when I got in my car, my brother and sister, my country, it was still going because I wanted to get, I'm being truthful with you, my brother and sister. I had two thoughts. I wanted to get out my car and go back in there real quick. Or then something said, now drive. So something was saying drive, something was saying go back. So that's how my mind was going, drive, go back. Drive. Yeah, that was the forbidden fruit and be drive, go back, drive, go back. So let me tell you what happened. I decided with God help, it was God help, my brother and sister. Listen to me carefully. It was God help. Then my friend. I would think about my friend first. I would think about God first, then my friend. I pulled off, and when I pulled off, I was still thinking about it. But the more I drove away, the thoughts started going down. God helped me from doing that to him and my friend. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying that I've never seen it in my life, my brother and sister. I have seen it. But I'm telling you about an episode where God helped me when God made a way. Let me tell you this, my brother and sister. It's just like this story in the Bible. You all remember that story in the Bible about Joseph. You remember Joseph's brother sold him into slavery and he ended up in Potiphar's house. You remember Potiphar's wife wanted him very bad. She wanted him very bad. So she had a setup, like Angie B said, she had a setup. She wanted him to sleep. So he ran. But she caught his coat and she set him up and he had to do jail time for a lie. Speaking of lies, don't you know, brothers and sisters? Now, this is very controversial. There are some women that lie and say a man did something to them physically. And then there are some women that tell the truth. But there are some women that lie and say a man did something to them. And they could go years and years and years. But then as time go by, yeah, that's right, Sister Angie, resist the devil and he will flee you. That's right. But you know, that's wrong too. Now, if a man actually did something to a woman, and he should be judged and put away. But if the man have not done nothing to the woman and lie on the man, that's something. You all remember that movie that Beyonce was on and that guy named Elgin Ebert or something like that. You all know who I'm talking about. You remember Beyonce and him was married, right? And this lady, she lied and said that he was doing stuff to her. She almost cost that man his marriage. He never touched that lady. There are some ladies that actually lie, brothers. You better be careful. Yeah, that's it, Sister Angie B. Idris Elba. That's right. Him and Beyonce were married. That lady was so convincing that that man almost lost his marriage. There are some women that would do you like that, brother. You got to be careful, brothers. You got to be careful with some of these women. Let me tell you this, brother, there are some of you brothers that you're with a good woman. You're with a good woman. But there's still a factor called temptation. I understand it, brother. There is a thing that called temptation. I understand it. But let me tell you. If you decide to be with another woman and you have a good woman, that woman could turn on you. That's why when I hear things about a man got caught out there with another woman and stuff, it's not no surprise. That's right. Men lie too. You're right, Sister Angie B. There's not no surprise. That's right, Sister Teresa said 1 Corinthians 10:13. 1 Corinthians 10:13. 1 Corinthians 10:13. God help you by giving you a way to escape. Amen. He sure did, sister. That was a hard one, sister, but God pulled me out of that. But let me tell you, brothers, if you got a good woman, listen to what I'm saying, brothers. If you got a good woman, other women will see how, not all women, but there are some women that may try to come after you if they see how you talk to your woman and how you treat her, because a lot of women don't have that. So a lot of women want that. How you doing, Sister Janice? A lot of women want that. So, bro, let me tell you something. If, like I said, if you treating your woman good, if you lifting your woman up, if you treating her good, and you don't hide and all that kind of stuff, there are some women, they want that what they see. They might not tell you. How you doing, Sister Penny? Welcome to the dinner table, Jan, and to the Penny. They may not tell you, brother, but they watching you and your woman. And a lot of these women, they want a man. Then they look at you. And let me tell you something, sister. If you got a good man, don't be telling your girlfriends and stuff how good that man to you. Don't be telling her how good that man is. It ain't nothing wrong with you telling her a few things, but don't keep telling your girlfriends how great your man is. Because if you tell your girlfriends that probably ain't got no man or got different men and you got a steady thing, they want your man. And let me tell you another thing, sister. If you try to do some little creeping out there and you got a good man, and some of your girlfriends know that you got a good man, and they want your man, they may call your man and tell him that little shady stuff you doing out there. Because they want him. Or if, that's right, Sister Diane, keep your business to yourself. Sister Angie B said, I was a good woman and a woman came after my ex-husband 24 years ago and he went to her. Yeah, stuff like that happened, Angie B. But let me tell you, sisters, if you have a good man, do not tell your girlfriends everything that man doing for you. Sister Penny said, and showing it on social media. We do that this a lot. Amen, Sister Penny, you're right. Don't tell your girlfriends everything. Just Sister Diane said, yeah, they jealous. Yeah, they jealous, envious. Because some of your girlfriends want what you got, which means your man. If you got a man that's handling things, that got some stuff going on with him, oh yes, it's gonna be not only your girlfriend, sister, there's gonna be some other women that gonna want him. If this man is about business and this man is a mover, he doesn't have to be no movie star. He doesn't have to be no sports celebrity. He don't have to be no recording artist. He could be a man that's about his business, and this man got it going on. They will try to come after your man. And let me tell you this, sisters, you better not have no other woman spending the night over your house. You ain't doing nothing but setting it up. And that go for you too, brother. Don't let no other man be staying over your house. Don't do it, brothers. Don't let your guy friends stay over to your house. Sister, don't let your girlfriend stay over their house. Yeah, they got some hard time. What you do is you get some money and put them in a hotel. Because you setting it up. That's right. And be said, hang around. Don't, brothers and sisters, brother, don't let your guy friend hang around your house. Don't have your friends where they could just drop in when they're in the neighborhood. Sister, don't have your women friend just dropping in when they're in the neighborhood. They shouldn't be around your house that much. Brothers and sisters, don't let them come around your house that much. Because let me tell you something. First, sister, let me tell you this. You have a woman that stay over to your house. You got to understand, even if your man is a preacher, listen to what I'm saying, sister. Even if your man is a preacher, before he's a preacher, what is he? He's a man. Preachers can have temptation and lust. Did you not? You think just because your man is a preacher, he can't be steered in the wrong way? So your girlfriend, you go to work or you go to a store, and your man looking at the football game, and you run to the store. He looking at the football game, and your girlfriend, she said, I'm just gonna chill. No, I don't want to go. I just chill. And while you gone, she walked through. That's right. She walked that right, so then be. She walked through with some little skimpy stuff on, right? And then let's say he get up to go to the kitchen to make him a sandwich, okay? Your little friend coming there with that little skimpy stuff on. Then she go to the refrigerator. She opened the refrigerator and she bend down. And he happened to look at her and he see all that stuff up in his face. What you think? That's a setup. And then you brothers, you got a guy friend that probably lost his job or whatever. You want him to come stay with you until he get on his feet, right? You go to work. Your woman is not working. You go to work, and then you start getting a feeling that she didn't start changing, right? She didn't start changing on you, right? And you wondering what's going on. So you call the cheater people, right? You call the cheater people. So they start doing surveillance on your woman, right? They'll never see her going out nowhere. When you go to work, she's still there because your friend there, right? And then cheaters help you to set up some surveillance stuff in your house, right? Or your apartment, wherever you live at. Then the cheater people call you and say, come look at this video. And then they show you where your girlfriend and your friend, they started out in the man cave and they ended up in your bedroom. And then the cheater people ask you, do you want to go confront? And you say, yeah, I want to go confront. Then you go home and with all those cameras and everything. And when you go home with all those cameras, you go in and your friend and your woman, they doing the grown folk stuff, the monkey dance. Then you want to get all ballistic and you want to ask your friend, why are you doing me like this, man? I took you in because you lost your job. But guess what, brother? What is your guy friend? He's a man. He's a man. He ain't have nothing else better to do but your woman there, so he seen an opportunity. And he took it. You set it up. I'm telling you. I know I got a little sidetracked, my brother and sister, but I'm telling you. You can help your friends. You help them get a room at a hotel. Put them up at a hotel. Take them to a shelter. Get them some money. But don't invite them to come live in your house and stuff because all you doing is setting up stuff. And when you set up stuff, my brother and sister, guess what it is? It's some stuff that you don't see what's going on. Don't you know, my brother and sister, that spirits be moving around you and you can't see them? You got angels moving around you and you got devils moving around you. So, brother and sister, you may have your heart, you may have a good heart, but your friend coming there and a demon could get into your friend bodies and move your friend to make a move on your mate. And you see, you're going to get mad at your mate. But all it was, we fight against spiritual things, my brother and sister. The only thing a lot about it, Your friend had a lust. Those demon or demon jump into your friend body and tell your friend to go get it. I'm just trying to help somebody. I hope you all hear it. I might talk about that more at the dinner table tomorrow. But anyway, my brother and sister, I love you. Thank you so much for coming to the dinner table. Those of you that are on the book, like, share, and make comments. Those of you that are on the tube, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification. It doesn't cost you anything, my brother and sister. Thank you all so much for being at the dinner table. I hope that I helped someone out there. I really do hope that I helped someone out there. Thank you, Sister Angie B. Remember what was on the menu. Do you know what it means when he say you fine and sexy? I'm telling you, sisters, if this man is not in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with you, he has no right to tell you you fine and sexy. Sister Cynthia, how you doing? Word to the dinner. Men that say you're fine are worldly men lusting after your body. That's right. And I'm trying to convey that to you, sister. When men tell you you fine and sexy, remember what I say. What does Jesus say in Matthew 5:28? Jesus say, but I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in the heart. What did I say lust is? According to the dictionary, lust is defined as a very strong sexual desire, having a very strong sexual desire for someone, intense sexual attraction or desire. The sexual desire is often defined as being for someone other than a partner. I'm trying to help you, brothers. I'm trying to help you, sister. I can expect the world to do anything. I can expect the world to do anything, but I'm talking to you. Are we perfect at the dinner table? No, we're not. A lot of us have did wrong things in the past, but thank God we know better now. So if we got experience on stuff, we could help others. Because we in this together, brother and sister, we could help others. None of us perfect at the dinner table, but a lot of us have walked roads before that I'm talking about. You understand? So thank you, brother, and thank you, sister, for being at the dinner table tonight. Go ahead and take you a plate. Go ahead and take it and put it in the freezer. Warm that bad boy, share with some of your other family members and friends, and invite your people to come to the dinner table, Lord willing, tomorrow night. And we're going to have a good topic tomorrow. Okay, my brother and sister? You all have a good night. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Thank you, Trinity, for being here. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. You all have a good night, okay? See you later. See you later. Bye-bye.